All right, Rob, speaking of trash talk, there's been some chirping going on in Cleveland. Now, they lost their 5th game in 7 outings on Sunday. Odell Beckham Jr., who I guess a lot of people would say Stephon Gilmore, who's playing like he might be the best cornerback in the league, he held OBJ down. OBJ really was not a factor. 5 catches, 52 yards.
That's nothing.
Right. And here's what OBJ said about it. I just felt like we didn't challenge as much as we could have. I think we kind of shied away from it. I was expecting and looking forward to it, but that wasn't the case today. We had a couple plays, but for whatever reason, we didn't do as much challenging as we talked about. Other than that, whatever came my way, pretty much I caught. In other words, don't blame me. Whatever opportunities I had, I made the most of them. You can only control what you can control. Well, Freddie Kitchens, the beleaguered head coach of the Cleveland Browns, responded on Monday. Here's what he said.
That's right. He said, quote, Odell had 7 balls thrown at him. He caught 5 of them. I'm not responding to that. We need to win a football game. That's what I'm worried about, end quote.
I got to be honest. I don't know if Freddie's going back at OBJ, but I like that comment. He didn't entertain it too much. He didn't get caught up in a, back and forth. I know the media may make it out to be that. He just stated matter-of-factly, he had 7 balls thrown his way, he caught 5. He didn't say he should have caught all 7. He didn't say he was outstanding or he was poor. He just stated the fact. He said, I'm not getting into it. We need to win a football game. That's what I'm worried about. As much as I think Freddie Kitchens should be on the hot seat, I think he handled that the right way.
I didn't like it. I think he could have easily said, this guy's one of the best receivers in the league. We need to utilize him more. 5 catches, 52 yards is not going to win you a football game.
Wow.
that's what I would like to hear is that we're not using our people. We have talent on this team. We're not getting the best out of them. That's why we're not winning. Look at the numbers across the board. We have 2 star receivers. They have 2 touchdowns between them.
That's, to me, that would have been like either throwing Baker Mayfield under the bus.
No, I'm talking about
you and your coaching staff under the bus.
He's the guy. I'm telling you.
Do you really have to go all that far?
Yeah, that we're not getting the best out of our players. Yeah, because otherwise, why do you have to bring up? We can look at a stat sheet and tell us what he just told us. That's no comment.
Right. I'm fine
but
with
I don't
that.
need to say that.
You don't need to be.
I don't need to. You don't need to say that.
It would be a bigger story.
No, I'm just saying that I think that's owning it. We got to get more out of him. It's a waste that we made a trade for him.
Do you think
we're not utilizing him correctly?
Do you think part of
that's on me if he said that?
Do you think part of their problem? Because we don't know. We're not in there, but it looks like a lack of authority. Like they're undisciplined, according to Baker Mayfield, according to their penalties, according to their turnovers.
The penalties tell you that.
Right, they're undisciplined. That is a coach who seems like he doesn't have control of the team. Maybe he's been kissing the backsides of the big personalities, of the superstar celebrity receivers and other players. And so now I thought this was matter of fact. He didn't rip him. But he said, I'm not responding to that. We got a football game to win. That's what this is about. And I'm not going to sing the praises of Freddie Kitchens, Rob, because as I said, this year is your tryout year as far as I'm concerned, because we know you have the talent. Can you get the most out of it? And I'm going to say this right now, Rob. Am I saying they're definitely going to make the playoffs? I predicted it. Obviously, their backs are against the wall. But I don't think the season is over. They're 2-5 in a bad division. The best team in the division, the Baltimore Ravens, they went into their house, into their living room, and smacked them around. So what's to think they can't do that in Cleveland, in the land?
Because you have a quarterback who's playing poorly. And
he was playing poorly when they beat him.
And you could look
coming
at
off a 43-13 loss.
Look at anything you want to do, and you could work it that way and talk about the schedule. I don't feel confident in that team at all. they haven't done enough for me to believe that they're going to run some table and they're going to waltz into the playoffs. Kurt Menefee said it best. He didn't pick them for the playoffs. I didn't pick them for the playoffs because I thought they would be 7-9 or 8-8. They wouldn't be good enough. To make the playoffs and to win the division, you need to win 10 games. They're not winning 10 games.
They could. Here's the schedule, Rob.
I know what the schedule is.
The Broncos without Joe Flacco. The Bills. Anybody in love with the Bills? The Steelers twice.
Steelers won last night.
It took every ounce
Did they win or lose last night?
of ability that they had to beat the woeful, tanking Miami Dolphins. Speaking of the Dolphins, they're on the schedule. The Bengals twice, who are horrible and just benched Andy Dalton on his birthday. Doesn't get any worse than that. The Cardinals, who are struggling mightily.
Struggling.
And then they got the Ravens, who again are beatable. I'm just saying. Now, here's my biggest concern about the Browns. I'm going to keep it real. It's not that they capable of beating these teams. Because, Rob, other than the opening night loss to the Titans, which was a complete embarrassment, they lost to the Rams coming off a Super Bowl. They lost to the 49ers, undefeated. They lost to Seattle, one of the best teams in the NFL. And they lost to the undefeated New England Patriots. So they lost to teams that are better than them. Period. The end.
I think
they haven't lost to anybody. I mean, the Titans, whatever. They beat the Jets. They beat the Ravens.
I just think it's too simplistic to just say like they don't have enough talent to beat a good team. I mean, I'm not
saying that, but they
it's
also
like
those teams are good teams.
Okay, and if they
lose to a good team,
so
if
they lose to the Bengals, then what would you say?
Well, then they're not playing up to their ability.
Okay, so they should win both games against the Bengals automatically. Okay.
Yes, I mean not automatically. It's the NFL. You got to play. But they should
just
win
like the Cowboys should have beat the winless Jets, right? So the Cowboys are no good?
No, because the Cowboys smacked around your Eagles.
No, but I'm asking you.
Once in a lifetime, isn't that what you call it?
But I'm asking you about the Jets.
No, that's my point,
but
Rob.
That's my
point.
It's
the NFL. You can't take anybody lightly.
It ain't that easy.
No, it's not. I'm not saying it is. But I'm saying the schedule is favorable. That's all I'm saying. I'm not predicting that they're about to win out and make the playoffs. I'm just saying the schedule is easy. And they've got talent. Here's my biggest concern about them. If they win 3 straight, if they win the next 3, do they have the maturity to handle it? That's my question. I'm concerned about that. If they win 3 straight, will they stick out their chest and say, we've arrived. We're about to make the playoffs and let up and lose to a team
I'm sure they're going to feel great. Well, yeah, that's a good question, but I don't know about that. I don't. I don't know where they'll go from there. I just don't feel good. I just don't feel confident about where they are, and I get it.
That's fair because they've looked bad,
right? And I get it, Chris. I'm not saying that they can't win. The schedule is favorable, but I don't think they're going to be able to win at the clip that they need to because of the hole that they've dug themselves in. If they went, think about it. If they went, now again, this is a big if. I know, but 8-1. That's a big if.
They'd be 10-6
from where they are, though.
But would you agree though? The teams they've lost to are good. Seattle, the 49ers, the Patriots. I mean, those teams are just better right now. The Rams.
Everybody told me that they were for sure. I just think from people who picked them to go to the Super Bowl and win the division and all kinds of stuff to now they can't win anything other than beat bad teams. That was my issue when I picked them.
They beat the Ravens.
That was my issue with them from last year. That was my big issue.
All right, we will see. Do the Cleveland Browns still have a realistic shot at making the playoffs? Let's start with Marty and River from Kentucky. Marty, welcome to the Odd Couple.
What's up, fellas?
What's up, man?
I just want to say, first of all, happy belated 51st birthday, Chris.
Thank you, Marty. I appreciate that.
After I got off the phone yesterday, River said, Dad, you forgot to tell Chris Broussard happy birthday. You made me feel bad.
Tell River I said thank you, and I forgive him for ripping me last week.
And Marty, Hey,
Yeah.
River's getting something very special. We need to talk. So, all
Okay,
right?
we will.
Okay.
On the subject at hand, the Cleveland Clowns, I'm going to say they were done
wow.
before the season got started. They got a diva at wide receiver. They got a diva at quarterback. And Freddie Kitchens is probably being smart because he's probably trying to avoid the drama if their quarterback responds, because he's not going to respond positively like Kirk Cousins did in his situation where his receivers just straight called him out. They didn't kind of halfway call him out. They just straight called him out, and he responded positively, and he's looking great ever since. And I just don't think you have those kind of positive attitudes on the Cleveland Browns.
That's a good point, because they did straight out call Kirk Cousins out. And if they had done that to Baker, I will give him that. If they did that to Baker, it'd be chaos.
And you know what? And he responded, didn't he?
He did respond.
He responded to him. No doubt about it.
I like Kirk Cousins as a man, so I hope he continues and has this great year. I'm not that confident.
The jury's is always out until he can do it in the postseason against good teams.
Yeah.
And that's what he has to overcome, because his record just hasn't. He's like Matt Stafford. It just hadn't happened.
That's a good comparison.
What about Ben in Oregon? You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Ben?
I got to say, I think the Browns are going to make the playoffs. You've already talked about the Browns' schedule, which is easy. The Ravens' schedule is it's like way tougher. They got the Patriots still. They still got to play the Rams. They still got to play, 49ers, undefeated, of course. And they got to play the Browns again, who they already lost to.
No, I think that's a great point.
You got a quarterback who's been terrible.
Because the Ravens aren't world beaters, Ben. You're absolutely right. I mean, again, the Browns already beat them. And I'm not saying the Browns are great and they're playing good football. They're not. But if you look at the teams they've lost to, they're good teams. And to look at the schedule now, I'm with you. I'm like,
so as soon as they lose to a bad team, you guys will call up and go, see, I didn't Baker Mayfield. He stinks.
I won't
they
say
lost
that.
to the Browns. I was wrong. Just admit you were wrong about them making it, because you had them winning the division, right?
No, I had them making the playoffs as a wild card.
And who was the other team you had winning the division?
I had the
Pittsburgh?
Steelers winning the division.
Okay, so you're going to be wrong twice.
The same way you had the Jets making the
be,
playoffs.
but you're wrong twice.
The 1-6 Jets who
you're
are
wrong
shopping
twice.
the entire
Chris
roster.
Broussard is wrong
Struggling.
twice, yes.
The 1-6 Jets who are shot. How in the world did you come up with that one?
How
Rob
did you
Parker?
come up with the Cleveland Browns? You
They
had them
got
go,
talent. At
You had
least
them
they
going
got
to the
talent.
AFC Championship game, didn't you?
At least the Browns have talent.
Didn't you have them going to the AFC Championship
At least
game?
I can rationalize the Browns pick.
I'm
How
asking
How
you.
do you rationalize the Jets? You were that confident in what's his name, Le'Veon Bell?
No,
who's averaging 3.2 yards a carry?
I thought he would open it up. I didn't know the quarterback would get mono. Max in Georgia, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio.
What's up, my guys? I just wanted to say I think it's a cluster altogether, top to bottom. I mean, you look at the numbers. Mayfield 19th in passing, 6 touchdowns. Definitely not good enough with the weapons. But you look at Jackson, Brissett, Garoppolo, Bridgewater, all behind him. The difference is their teams and their coaches set them up for success. They got players. They got the coaching. Some of them have good ownership. Having said that, I think top down to bottom, it's just a big mess. And I want to say, I want the NFL to do more like the NBA. Take the top 6 teams of each conference and set them off in the playoffs. I'm tired of division winners getting lucky, getting the byes, the Patriots all the time getting the byes. It makes me sick.
I hear you on that.
So you want to change the format of the playoffs?
I didn't say that. I said I hear you on that. I get what
I'm
he's
asking
saying.
Max, you want to change the format of the playoffs?
If they're changing things,
what's the purpose of the regular season if you don't get a benefit from it?
Well, no, Chris. Like the difference would be like when you see the divisional games, you give the edge. Like right now, if the Panthers edge out the Saints, bad example. If the Eagles edge out the Cowboys will still get the tie because they beat them earlier on in the season.
Right.
That's what I'm talking about. Just like stuff like that. I want to see the top best teams in the playoffs. That's what I want to see.
Okay. All right. Yeah,
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Max. I think they have a shot, Rob. That's all I'm saying. And speaking of a shot, the Astros, they jumped on Strasburg in a hurry. Who was that with the double?
Springer,
yeah. Chris Springer with the double now. Jose Altuve, 360 in the World Series. No homers, though. That's why you give the edge to Bregman
I didn't realize
right now.
that. Yeah, you know what?
He's
I kept thinking.
I know he's had a big
Right, but he
World
has
Series.
no home runs or any RBIs.
No.
Yeah, it would be hard for him to win.
But in the postseason altogether, he's hitting 350, 353, and 5 homers. How about that? This dude.
There's been so many home runs that it just seems weird.
Yeah.
So we got a tie game in the first inning.
Yep. All right.
I can't believe you even threw it home.
You okay?
Let's squeeze one more in. Tim in Ohio. You're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up, Tim?
Hey, how you guys doing? I really respect your professional opinions that you guys give out. I'd like to say if they could just get by on the people like, the Mayfield, he's saying this and that, Odell Beckham saying this and that. Play football, man. Concentrate on your job, what you're supposed to be doing, and, maybe they'd be a little bit better. And then penalties, it kills them. They do something good, they shoot themselves in the foot.
Right, and Tim, thanks for the nice words, but you're right. Penalties just take you out of it. It erases big plays, puts you in holes. That's bad coaching. That's undisciplined. Players have to know if I do something, I'm coming out, right?
No, there's no doubt. When you look at coaching, a couple of the things obviously you look at execution, but execution manifests itself in penalties, bad execution, and turnovers. And the Browns are tops in the league in both, right up there. And so that points to Freddie Kitchens. But like I said yesterday, I would give Kitchens this season, unless they lose like 4 or 5 straight or something and you just get rid of him, the season's over. But I would give him this season. You've got an easy stretch of games coming up. We'll see if they win them. But if he can't get this talented team to do something against this schedule, then you got to go. Because coaches are too big. In the NFL, the right coach can turn you around in a season.
And the other thing is there's no 5-year plans.
No, that's over.
Those days are long gone.
Right.
And if you're not a part of the solution, you're a part of the problem. And that's why guys don't get. Who was the coach that they fired in Arizona?
Steve Wilkes.
For one season.
I did think was
but I'm just saying,
shady,
but that's
because he didn't have the players.
Right, but I'm
Kitchens
saying that's how they
players.
do it, though.
You're right.
Is that they could pull a plug after 1 year.
Well, quickly, are you? And I'm not even trying to, diss. Are you disappointed in the Jets? Kind of shopping a Jamal. I mean,
nah, that's just football. That's just it's like players do it. Teams do it all the time. In baseball, they put guys on the waiver wire.
No,
I can pull it back. I want to see if there's any value.
But here's the thing.
I don't have an issue with that.
If
They're
I
not
get a
making the playoffs.
first-round pick for Jamal Adams, I'm using that pick hopefully to get another Jamal Adams. You see what I'm saying?
No, I understand.
He's young.
But it just
why him?
But it also told you why. That they also didn't pull the trigger.
No, but he's upset. It's going to be interesting.
He has to
see.
get over it. It's called the business of football.
You. All right. You going to say that because you picked the Jets to make the playoffs?
No,
somehow.
that ain't it. You asked me for my opinion. I gave it to you. You still don't believe it.
I'm just saying.
Who are you working with, Pinocchio?
I'm just baffled.
I'm just asking.
1 in 6? That's what I thought. That's what I did when I heard you pick the Jets.
Yeah, all right. No, that's what I did when you picked the Browns to make it to the AFC Championship game.
It's too soon, bro.
Hey, it's the Odd Couple. I'm Chris. He is Rob, and we want to encourage all of you to subscribe to our YouTube channel.
That's right. You can listen to us on the radio, and now you can watch us as well, and it's fun.